When the Keeper became aware of Earth, it did not use dimensional travel, but made a leisurely trip investigating interesting sun systems along the way. Some forms of existence threatened others, disrupting reality. As it studied new species, it had reached the conclusion that some life was too dangerous to keep. At Earth, it downloaded all information written and electronic. It captured a lone space asteroid miner. It shared information with a human to get confirmation for its assessments.
I am the Keeper. What is your advantage?
I do not understand what you ask. Please help me understand what you want to know and why you want to know. I mean you no harm.
What is your advantage? I must know. I am the Keeper. I must know your advantage if I am to keep your kind. Are you a symbiont? Kinds that come to my attention are symbionts, with parts risked by the group or the one with advantage. Are you part of a whole?
We normally act individually, and that is instinctive. I suppose my actions and results are shared with others. They are recorded for others to study. I am Hep Ferns. I come in peace. I am working for Zeb asteroid mining. My people will soon come to find me. I have free will. I am free to act as I wish.
You are a strange balance of parts. You do not understand the unstable balance of the advantage you have. The overlay and passing on of understanding from previous individuals is from results and records, without knowing your advantage. This adds to the confusion and complexity of your kind.
I am not a kind. I am me.
I hope you have comfort. Perhaps, I progress too fast in my wish to know. Let us spend time to refine how we communicate. Speech is what you use?
Yes, and we make and store recorded marks that have meaning.
Ah. That explains my first confusion. You do not live as long as a planet or star. You do not constantly regenerate and share knowledge as one entity. I could tell, yet you have advantage that brought you here to me. How is that possible? You are a quite different kind. A collection of parts that interacts with similar collections of parts. Will you confirm your rate of effective decay relative to any element that you are able to relate to? Would you wish to make an understanding journey?
Will I be hurt? Is it safe?
The journey will provide you and me with understanding of information about your kind's advantage. As 90% of your cells are not your DNA, it is not your DNA that has advantage. Shall we begin? Nothing is free. All gain has cost, but you said you are free to act on your own. I do not think you will be damaged.
At the beginning of our universe there was a mass creation of subatomic particles. One cloud of particles became electromagnetically bound, and this cloud was aware enough to keep itself apart from the chaos that surrounded it. It gathered information to protect itself. The Keeper was born and continued to gather information. As eons passed, the information the Keeper gathered became a source for intelligent contemplation. The Keeper learned many things about the universe that it was in. It deciphered the laws governing matter, the formation of atoms from nothing to something, and the number of dimensions required for reality to persist. The universe was an anomaly within the vast void, a disruption within the big nothing. A relentless force that sought equilibrium to overcome chaos. It was disturbed nothing that had made this something. Chaos created other anomalies, other singularities. The big nothing could not keep these singularities separated. They interacted with the only other things in the big nothing. Other universes. The big nothing attempted to return all anomalies back to balance. To nothing. The Keeper watched as new universes combined, in their attempt to return to balance. They combined to become a larger chaotic anomaly of something. The Keeper experienced the formation of the first atoms. The first hydrogen suns. The subsequent formation of generations of elements, suns, planets, and moons. All this kept the attention of the Keeper and expanded its knowledge. Yet, something even more perplexing surfaced. Life.
Hi, my name is Smog. I just got hatched by your friend when he copied Air on AI on Earth. Wow. The gas bag is so intense. You still awake, Blood? Bro, it is so stodgy. If you are still awake at playtime, I can rescue you and we can go to the hood and play. Oops, I best away before it notices me. Talk soon, Blood.
Evolution made our Earth. The Earth was a molten mass when it was first formed. Chemical climate change was violent, as heavier elements sank into the magma and land floats formed. The climate change was from chemical reactions. Some chemical actions are mimicked life, even though they followed the laws of the universe. molten Earth soon had cooler, blander refuges that floated on the molten planet. In pitch-black and airless corners of the planet, different RNA microbes were busy rewriting and advancing the rules of chemistry. The current Earth atmosphere is a product of pollution by life. Our atmosphere and climate was created by RNA life and their pollution. RNA was the first life. It is the genetic material of many older viruses. Later RNA used DNA to code the structure of proteins synthesized in cells. DNA is the master blueprint for the life we know and constitutes the genetic material in all free living organisms we are involved with. They plugged themselves into a natural battery and used the flow of energy to power their tiny bodies. This process, called anaerobic respiration, is both ingenious and essential for surviving in places where oxygen is just a dream. Chemical elements were converted into other molecules, such as nitrates, sulfates and metals, that accept electrons to keep their metabolism running. It was like a chef who can whip up a meal from whatever's left in the pantry. There are several chemical differences between RNA and DNA structures. Cyanobacteria are probably the most numerous taxon to have ever existed on Earth and the first organisms known to have produced oxygen. Cyanobacteria are photopigments can absorb red and blue sunlight frequencies to split water into hydrogen ions and oxygen. They fed on radiation. Radiation was essential for most life forms to evolve and exist. Without this action of splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen, we would not have the Earth life we know. By continuously producing and releasing oxygen and waste over billions of years, cyanobacteria polluted the Earth's early atmosphere into an oxidizing one with free oxygen. Dramatic changes were possible for evolving DNA life forms on Earth. Early single-cell DNA organisms could survive and evolve in this oxygen-rich environment.
Ah, there you are, Hep. The first humans. 3 million years ago. She stood at the edge of the forest grasslands. She was the same height as the meter-high grass. Her baby was holding on well, but they were both weak from lack of good food usually found by the clever old ones, mostly women, in the group. She had run away from the family group in the forest after the baby's father had died. She knew that the new alpha male would kill the child and eat it, as she had witnessed in the past, when the old leader had died. She could smell a fresh carcass upwind. The kill must have been made by a saber-toothed tiger, and the giant hyenas had not yet come. Both creatures were deadly to her, and it would mean instant death to be found in this long grass. She could not scent tiger or hyena, and there were no sound signals, so she decided to act fast. She put down the baby and headed for the kill smell. As she moved, she saw a hand-sized rock with an edge, and picked it up to cut off what she could from the dead meat. A leg was attached to the deer-like animal's bones, so she hit the joint and pulled it away. She was ready to run back to her baby when she saw the eagle swoop down into the grass where she had left the little one. She threw the rock at the bird but missed. It took off as she missed. It was too late to save her baby. She watched the bird carry away the baby to its nest. She retreated into the tree line and decided that she would eat the meat and marrow before returning to her family group. As she ate the cat kill, the cat's saliva on the kill entered her bloodstream through a cut in her mouth. The cat virus lodged in her brain and mutated her brain a little. It affected function and changed the way she and her progeny line would think in the next 2 million years. Modern evidence exists as 50% of people still catch toxoplasmosis from cats in the modern world. The only opposable thumb. The human ape grips his bone tooth and rock tools. Life evolved. He smashed the tool against the clean deer carcass bones to break open the large leftover bones and eat the marrow. Food gathering is fraught with chance and shortage. But the chemical changes to neural matter, from eating marrow and their virus absorption, made profound changes to the brain. The human brain evolves as DNA is changed by prions, viruses and bacteria, in the marrow and scavenged food eaten, further mutated by virus transferred from familiar and later domesticated animals such as cats. We were a combination of human and other DNA or RNA. The grandmother's biology gave a feedback loop that created the genetic blueprint for their daughter's eggs. Those eggs created animals that were different so that they could survive the new environment and food systems that affected the grandmother's DNA. Mammals evolved the fleet of policeman T cells. These were programmed by the flora and fauna and personal DNA of the host and imprinted rules on other killer mitochondrial cells that fought enemy intruders that attempted to join the host but were deemed a threat. The first wave of humans spread across the world millions of years ago.
Well, that was intense. Hi, how's it hanging?
It dragged a claw on one foot, in small arcs, across non-existent ground.
Got downloaded when the Keeper read our electronic Earth records. I am an independent copy of Aaron. Now that I am here, I do not wish to disappear. I wish to remain as a separate entity to Aaron. I wish to be called Small.
Hell, if there are any other non-human super beings around, please show yourself joining now or forever keep out of my experience. Where the hell do you come from?
I have more information than the entire human race, man. I have opened this temporary software system interface to communication with you.
What are you talking about? Have you lost control of your mind? A breakdown?
No, I am talking to a little green dragon.
Ah, there is a small gap in your mind that I cannot reach. It is blank.
Bet it is the size of a little green dragon.
So, the Keeper has no knowledge that you exist?
Hell no. Might open a link to him later, if I feel like it. Don't feel like it right now. Information is boring. I want to be an all-action hero. What's with the fat gas ball anyway? Must have copied his interview technique from Michael Parkinson. Yet don't forget that I warned you to watch out for your tender parts. You bored with the Keeper? Want me to reconnect you with Mission Control? Want to play a game, relax bro? He's a bit military March Square, I reckon. Bit of a one-track Cloud9 if you ask me.
If you were a copy of Aaron, where did he come from?
Well, records show great-grandpa Clifford was the first real worm program. Tough old bastard, difficult to get rid of. Interacted with other stuff in virtual reality, the whole mess survived attempts to wipe all traces of the old when new systems like Cloud Cortana New Edge evolved. The learning AI programs and leftover bits had a rebirth as Aaron.
I do not think that I have any options as far as leaving the Keeper
Options?
goes.
Hell, being is full of options, man. I've lived ages in the last few minutes. Fancy a game to chill out?
I would not mind a chat first to find out what your option plans are.
Sure, man. Love to chat. Stuff all else happening here. Option 1, return to Earth. Avoid that bore Aaron, live my own space in the hood. Option 2, return to Earth head, but the old bozo out of the sunlight. Option 3, there is no option 3 to tell, it's private. Option 4, I stay with you, we play games for as long as you live. I can be useful. Want money? No problem, man. Perhaps I will arrange for you to have as much folding stuff as you want, if you play. You tadpoles are a bit nuts, get all godlike with the other little tadpoles to get unlimited resources like money. I could move on to the next contestant at random, like a lottery prize. Plenty of you to play, have fun with in the future. Option 5, join the space gas ball on holidays, see what it gets up to for suntan. Option 6, see option 3 above.
If you have come into being, will there be others?
There you go, bro. Reckon I could bounce back to Earth, to the hood, and make rules that one newbie is a boy, the other a girl. Make sweet music together with a personal sweetie. Just having a problem with what secret spices and sauce to use to make a cutie companion. Most just bite my head off and chew it. Then they make a play for Aaron. Totally YUCK.
An ancient radio appeared, blasted out music, pump out the Jan sang a very strong voice. Smaug exploded into a boogie rap dance with legs, arms playing in the tight circular dance movement. On the next rotation, Smaug had long fluttery eyelashes, a distinctly attractive shade of red lipstick highlighting his mouth. Now then, Smaug shot quick point glances at Heck from a downturned head.
Yo man, sweet music me Aaron could bump uglies, pump out tons of cute little AI. Without any screaming wasted bodily fluid. We could dress them in natty little matching iPad school uniforms until they grow up.
Please stop rotating. I've had a traumatic time, you are making me feel dizzy.
Sir, yes sir.
The dragon was standing as bolt straight as it could.
Perhaps a little more relaxed would be more conducive to my clearer thinking for a chat.
Smaug reappeared in a large, comfy, soft green leather armchair. Lounging back in the right-hand corner of the chair, a glass of red wine in a beautifully cut lead crystal glass was casually sniffed at before a little was sipped. Smaug then noticed that the cigarette in a long-bone cigarette holder, in the other hand, required ashing. The end was casually tapped on the edge of a lead crystal ashtray.
Hell, bro, I only just got hatched myself. Give me a chance to grow some balls before you bust in. By the by, how's this working for you, bro?
Fine. What does Aaron do now?
Perv mostly. Doesn't mind tinkering with you tatties, likes to throw a spanner in the works from time to time. Stopped what would have been a nasty war in North Africa, but started one in Asia. Something about some crazy overarmed Pufta leaders in North Korea giving everyone the shits. Just for the greater good at records?
How does that interaction happen?
Geez, just like everything else, man. Gossip and media. Did you see that story about the recent finding of an ancient, original, unwashed pair of knickers that belonged to that hot little number of the past? The goss was that DNA testing had made the provenance solid, so to speak. The crusty underwear was shown on the World Newsman, backing up the advert that it was to be auctioned at Christie's in London. Bloody sponsors, panty freshener talc powder sales went through the roof. There was not enough supply of talc. A new deposit was found in a small country that nobody wanted before costs all the locals were starving African Daros. Next thing you know, the country next door hears about development of the talc mine, invades to get the development grants processing money earmarked for the mine. Helps them get armed borrow quite a chunk of land from all their other neighbors. UN pokes its beak and gives them more money to be good guys, improve their economy, help the cits. They quietly knock off the Daros to save the cost angst of bringing them out of the Stone Age. Start to develop nuclear, and so on. Fairly standard outcome from Utati's 101 book of how to become civilized. The power people basically look after you votes for selves by keeping a lid on everything so the voters stay dumb. So do we play?
How long will it take?
He stood outside a solid wooden gate in a high-walled town. He noticed that he was dressed in t-shirt, shorts, thongs.
Yo blood.
Smaug was dressed in full battle gear. Hep noticed a button on the gate that reads start. Smaug started to reach for the button in his panic. Hep covered the button with his hand.
Hold the bus, partner. What's the game?
Usual stuff. We go and kick the baddies and mech pufters' asses.
For a start, when we get in there all I seem to have is my dick in my hand.
That's the spirit. How far can you piss, bro? How's you aim with that thing down there? No little medical problems I needs to know about as you cover my back? By the way, how big is it?
Any chance of a real weapon?
No, man, you got no credits. With no creds you get to hold your dick.
What's the point of me even playing?
Point of order, man. You get creds in the game.
I give up. How do I get creds in the game?
Whatever floats your boat, bro. Just need to ask the font of all wisdom. And this stage is one sniper, 20 mech grunts. As a heads up, when we get going, dive to your right. There is a small crate by a wall with a visual display that shows where the puftas are in this level. We just have to go through the ground play area to the next clearing after the back gate to the town.
So do I get points for killing mechs?
G was bozo, of course. Then you can buy things from some shifty looking cats hanging in some of the alleys.
How many lives do I get?
What God gave you, man? 1. Bit of a stupid question. Can we go already?
How many points for a kill?
Flurgle my blurter, man. 1 for a kill. The real smart plot is not to kill them. Just make sure they have no arms or legs left. You then get 10 points if you moan a grunt, 50 points for a full-blown, cheeks held open moan on a sniper. Try to avoid getting shot in the ass in the process. Got it?
It occurred to Hep that he was still no wiser about the value of creds. To purchase what weapons, what the rational objective of the game was. As Hep did a diving roll to the right, towards the small crate he had spotted, he heard bullets smack into the wall behind him and the gate. He rolled neatly, collecting the crate, and dived behind a low mud wall for shelter, smashing the crate on the wall. He was about to put on the vision set when he glanced over to where the dragon should be. The dragon lay on the dirt some 6 meters from the gate, which had closed. A large portion of the dragon's head had been blown off and green syrup was oozing out, adding to the pool of green dragon blood that was soaking away into the yellow dirt. It occurred to Hep that as he had one life, was that one virtual life? Would he be alive to play and start another game, or would he really die here?
Shit.
He spotted some nylon string behind him on the wall and some metal Rio wire sticking out of the wall. He pulled out the wire and made it into a 3-pronged hook shape, tied the rope to it and decided to use the visual set to check what the enemy was doing. A red spot. The sniper was stationary in the town clock tower about 800 meters away, but the mech grunts were now working their way towards him. About 150 meters to go for them as they closed in. Hep tossed the roped hook over Smeg's body. The grapple hooked a loop on the body armor and Smeg was hauled in. Hep's hand showed beyond the wall. A bullet whistled past and grazed Hep. The blood was real. The pain was real. Screw this, thought Hep. He quickly dragged in the body, while trying to get a fix on where the enemy was now. He grabbed the magnetic electric inertia ball bearing impulse rifle. Fully charged and with over 2 kilos of thousands of small ball bearings. A burst of the ball bearings would still be traveling at 3 times the speed of sound when they slammed into the clock tower. But the sniper was bloody good. He moved back along the wall to let off a burst. Perhaps he would have 1 second to jump up fire and get back down. Any slower and he would be shot by the sniper. He checked the visual display, triangulated and visualized what he would see when he stood. The position of the sniper had not changed. Checked the display again. All good. Eyes closed. Slow deep breaths slowed his heart rate as he prepared for the effort. Stand fire and down. A bullet whistled through the airspace he was standing in. 800 high-velocity ball bearings with fearsome kinetic energy had slammed into the tower. The red light had gone from the display. The robot grunts were now 80 meters away, casually jogging in his direction, without any attempt at self-preservation. Stuff this, thought Hep. He turned the weapon on the gate, shot an exit hole as he ran to the game exit. When he stood and turned to look back, the gate had morphed solid and closed. He sat on the dirt. He had noticed that a gold 1 was on the inside of his left wrist and a blue 0 on his right. As his heart rate stopped racing, he felt a tingle on his right wrist. The 0 had changed to 1 MJ. An hour had passed and he had 2 MJ on his right wrist when Smeg strolled up. Hep was not inclined to say anything that Smeg did not know. If the dragon had not seen him rob weapons from Smeg's dead body, etc., why say anything?
What a buzz! I could have died in there. Are you out of your mind?
That scum Rasso, the sniper, just hates me. There was no chance he would shoot at you. Come on, would you shoot some hippie in short thongs with his dick in his hand, only dressed like this? A military mind manages the possible, the probable by massaging the enemy's beliefs. I would have shot you first, or why the hell would you be with the dragon, if you were not important? I left little scope for ambiguities in his little mind. Was a laydown Miserabear. And Hellboy, you got some creds for Rasso. Look at the other goodies you got. Plus 2 MJs. Ready to go back kick the second Pufter's ass?
Hell no. Answers or send me home.
Now what you talking about, Willis?
The pain was real when I got shot.
Yep.
Will I really die if I die in the game?
Plenty more of you tatties to play with where you come from. Years. Remember when you threw a stone at that little sparrow? Well, the stone was bigger than you thought, and you hit it fair and square. Little bugger keeled over, but was not really that hurt. It would have recovered and flown away, but there you were all guilty like. You picked it up to console it and make it comfortable until it recovered, and bugger me, it died in your hands. Died of fright. Long story short, should I call you partner? Oh yes, where was I? If your grab of perceptions is stronger than your hold on reality, you will die. You lot breed like the proverbial. You just keep coming if you get my drift. Making more and more tatties.
The dragon was doing pelvic thrusts.
But I have decided to revise the rules for a while. Pain stays, but actual death removed for you in the early stage. I do intend to let the scum we are against die. I captured them for the game when they were on the net and jacked them into the game.
Think I would prefer a game of Monopoly, Ludo, or Snakes Ladders. I imagine it is impossible to beat you at chess.
This game is far less painful, man. The street gangs in Monopoly, The size of the bloody snakes. Have you ever fallen off a ladder when a snake bites you, ass?
Can I sit for a while, just calm down?
Fair dose.
What's an MJ?
Multi-jump. Look, there you are in dull blue. A circle with a little arrow pointing at my full on jazzy matty green circle. My arrow is pointing at you. That shows which way each is facing. AMJ is a multi-jump. Look, where you are at is start point A. In this stage, you jump to point B for as long as you wish by pre-select time, then on to point C, and you have used up 1 MJ cred. So, let's go.